All right, Year 7, this is lesson 3, the final lesson for week 4. This is also the alternate lesson format. So if you are not taking the alternate lessons, I need you to go look for the base lessons or the core lessons um, that are uploaded as well. So let's have a look. Okay, so we're going to learn about spits. So SPITS. This is how we understand poetry when we're in Year 7. This acronym starts to become a lot more complicated when we hit Year 9 and Year 10. So it's really, really important that we start to understand how to use it now. So when we advance later, it's not such a big shock. Okay, so spits learn each, what do you call it? Sorry, I had a mind blank. Each letter is the start of a description. So S is the subject matter. So what is the poem about? P is purpose, theme, or message. I is identify the emotion, the mood, or the feeling. T is the technique, so how did they create that emotion, mood, or feeling? And finally, summary, final thoughts about the poem. What do you think about the poem? Summary should always be in your own words. So let's take spits and let's apply it to this haiku here. A rock is never just a rock. They grow and breathe, living just as earth. So this is actually one line, just because of how the screen has sort of like shrunk, it forces it to go on a second line. So it is 3 lines. And it is a haiku because a rock is never, that's 5, just a rock, they grow and breathe, living just as earth. So yes, it is definitely a haiku. And let's have a look at this. So what is it about? Quick sentence. What is the message or the purpose of the poem? Identify the emotion. So what is the vibe? What are they trying to make you feel? How did they create this vibe? And finally, put the poem into your own words. What is it about? Okay, so who is ML Kaiser? So if we just go back here, we'll see that this poem, More Than a Rock, was written by ML Kaiser. So we know by this context that he is a poet and that he writes haiku poems. But that's about all we know. If you Google him, there's not a lot that comes up except for a list of his poems. So we don't know anything about this poet except that they have published hundreds of poems online. So does this impact the meaning of the poem More Than a Rock? Remember last lesson we looked at a poem by a guy from ancient Japan, well, old time Japan, and it sort of gives us a spiritual mood and vibe when we think about these people in old Japan writing this poetry. Now that we know that ML Kaiser, one, probably isn't Japanese at all, um, and he's just using this sort of way of writing poetry to create certain moods, does this impact the meaning of the poem? Does it mean more or less to you now that you know this? And please tell me why. This is all your opinion. Don't worry, you don't need to worry about getting it wrong. There is no wrong answer for this. It's just, does it impact the meaning of the poem? Do you think it's less special or more special because it's written by someone that no one knows? And that's it. That's the end of week 4, guys. I hope you had an awesome week, and I will see you around. Bye.